In June 2017, one piece of malware spread across Reckitt and Mondelez's global network in about 45 minutes. Dettol, Nurofen, Durex, household names, and the factory lines that make them went dark. Across town, Oreo and Cadbury's parent company was hit the same week. This is not one company's story. It's the sector's scar. That attack got a name, NotPetya. June 27, 2017. Reuters later counted Reckitt and Mondelez among the multinationals whose operations it hurt. Two kitchen cabinet, snack aisle giants. 1 week. One piece of malware that never even asked for money it actually wanted. Here's the twist that actually queued this file. This week, Indian business press reported a wave of FMCG boardroom reshuffles. Hindustan Unilever, Godrej Consumer, Dabur, Britannia, Nestle India. Business Standard tied the churn to uneven demand, regional competition, and a push for premium products. No hack, no ransomware. Just chief executives changing chairs. Tonight's corporate breach file uses that same sector, but points at the real vulnerability underneath it. Production lines, not press releases. FMCG doesn't need every shopper hacked to bleed. It needs the line stopped. Cookies, antiseptic, ultra-filtered milk. When the software behind the conveyor belt locks up, the product on the shelf doesn't care how many followers the brand has. It just stops moving. Walk back to 2017. NotPetya hit Mondelez's Windows systems worldwide. Sales, distribution, and finance networks all exposed at once. Reporting on court and insurance filings put the damage at roughly 1,700 servers and 24,000 laptops, permanently destroyed. Not slowed down, destroyed. The bill didn't stop at hardware. Mondelez initially booked incremental second quarter expenses above $7 million, a number that kept climbing. Its own disclosures and later reporting put total NotPetya recovery costs near $180 million. The company then sued its insurer, Zurich, for about $100 million in cyber coverage. Zurich's defense: this wasn't a hack. It was, they argued, an act of war. Reckitt and Mondelez tells a parallel story. Dettol, Nurofen, Durex, Lysol. NotPetya knocked out the systems that let Reckitt ship and invoice orders before quarter close. The company later warned some of that revenue was gone for good, not delayed, lost, and estimated the hit near £100 million. Here's the first turn. This sector doesn't fall to some abstract cloud breach. It falls when ransomware or malware reaches the systems that make and ship the product. Production lines, order queues, invoicing. Hold that. It's about to happen again, on a much quieter scale. Strip the jargon out, and the pattern repeats. Access first, a phished login, an exposed remote tool, or in NotPetya's case, one compromised software update pushed downstream. Then lateral movement across ordinary office Windows machines. Then encryption or theft. Then the parts shoppers never see. The production line or order system goes dark. Only after that does a filing or a leak site post tell the outside world. Move to 2026. Coca-Cola's Fairlife brand already has its own corporate breach file. So here's the short version. July 16th, an 8K disclosed ransomware, unauthorized access to production systems, and U.S. plants temporarily suspended. July 27th, Coca-Cola confirmed certain data was taken and said most production had resumed at all for U.S. plants. A ransomware crew called Anubis claimed the hit, telling reporters they'd stolen about 1 terabyte of data. Coca-Cola never confirmed that number. That's the pattern worth remembering before the next two names. A claim on a leak site is not the same as a filing. Here's the strange part American shoppers never noticed. Coca-Cola said U.S. retail shelves stayed largely fine. Existing inventory covered the gap while plants worked through the disruption. The factory can freeze. The fridge case can still look normal for a while. Now the sector's biggest unconfirmed name. In 2025, a ransomware group called Warlock listed Unilever on its leaked site, claiming an attack researchers dated to around April. Comparitech reported the claim was never acknowledged by the company. No filing, no customer notice, just a name on a leak site index. In India, a group called Lamashtu listed Parle Agro, the maker of fruity, on its own leak site in May 2026. Trackers cited claims of roughly 30 gigabytes and 25,000 files, HR, finance, and manufacturing records. Parle Agro has issued no public confirmation. The claim sits exactly where Unilever's does, alleged, not proven. Zoom out to India's boardrooms this same season. Hindustan Unilever, Godrej Consumer, Britannia, Nestle India, all naming new chief executives for faster execution and digital growth. Meanwhile, a top Indian beverage brand sits under an extortion claim nobody in the press release cycle is mentioning. Second turn, claim versus proof. Warlock's Unilever post, Lamashtu's Parle Agro post. Both silence. Compare that to Coca-Cola's own 8K discipline on Fairlife, a filing, a date, a number the company stood behind. Silence is not innocence, but it isn't evidence either. Back to the headline that actually cued this file. Godrej Consumers Sudhir Sitapati resigned days after shareholders reappointed him. Shares fell as much as 11% to a 52-week low, with Asif Malbari named successor. Similar churn hit Hindustan Unilever, Britannia, and Nestle India, new chief executives brought in for e-commerce and digital-led execution. Compare that boardroom whether to Reckitt or Mondelez, still counting NotPetya's cost years later. One market panics over a resignation. The other absorbs a 9-figure wound and keeps shipping. Put the real numbers side by side. Reckitt, near £100 million, some of it gone for good. Mondelez, near $180 million total. Godrej Consumers' 11% board panic, by contrast, healed in weeks. Two kinds of damage. One measured in servers and shipments. One measured in headlines. Third turn. The filed numbers are real. The leak site claims stay unproven. And the loudest headline this month, the one that cued this very file, wasn't a cyber attack at all. That gap between noise and evidence is where this sector actually lives. Behind every one of these numbers is somebody's shift. A Mondelez line worker in 2017, running reduced capacity while IT fought encryption for weeks before things felt normal again. A Parle Agro employee whose HR file might already sit on a leaked site nobody's confirmed. An investor reading a Godrej filing the same week sector cyber attack stories are circulating, trying to tell which panic is real and which one is just a resume. The corporate lesson is blunt. Segment production systems from office IT, so one compromised laptop can't reach the factory floor. Test the backups before ransomware tests them for you. And don't let a leak site name, confirmed or not, replace an actual filing in your own crisis planning. Reckitt and Mondelez learned that the expensive way, years apart, on opposite sides of the same malware. For the rest of us, the lesson is simpler. A full shelf doesn't mean a healthy factory. A quiet leak site name doesn't mean a confirmed breach. Read the actual filing before you panic, and before you dismiss the claim entirely. Open questions remain. Will Warlock ever publish real Unilever samples? Or was this a name-only claim? Will Parle Agro break its silence? What did Fairlife certain data actually include? And will anyone flag a junk headline like Top FMCG before it burns another research cycle? This was never one hack. It's Reckitt and Mondelez counting NotPetya's cost 8 years later. It's Fairlife filing while Warlock and Lamashtu to claim silence from Unilever and Parle Agro. It's a boardroom reshuffle headline that cued this file by mistake and pointed at something true anyway. Sources sit in the description. Which corporate failure should we open the file on next? Corporate breach. Case filed.